Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Ripe for Reissue. And what is ripe for reissue? Well, what's ripe for reissue is Neeme Järvi's Strauss recordings on Chandos, because it's an extraordinary collection of stuff. You know, nobody has done more Richard Strauss orchestral music. Not that Kemper box, not anybody. And interesting Strauss, I have a bunch of them right here that I want to talk you through because they really ought to be boxed up. Chandos is not big in the box set universe yet, but they have a catalog where they've amassed so many pockets of important repertoire. It really is time for them to get on the ball and start, issuing this stuff in a convenient way, because this stuff is all over the place. They had their mid-price Enchant series, and they have, some of these things were repackaged. Yes, repackaged at different price levels. Some of them were not. Some of them are available. Some of them aren't. It's just a big, fat, hellacious mess. A terrible mess. And so let's start with one element of these Strauss recordings, because it wasn't just that he did Strauss orchestral works and tone poems. He did the weird stuff. He did symphonies. He did songs, 2 volumes of songs, beautifully sung by Felicity Lott, one of the great Strauss singers. And you get, you get the three hymns, which are glorious. You get the 4 last songs. These are swift, exciting, brilliant performances, marvelously sung by a real Kunstdiva, an intelligent singer who really knows her way around the words. It's absolutely gorgeous, but there's more than this even. There are songs with baritone, some of the male songs, which were accompanying some of these stranger orchestral pieces. He did Schlagobers, the suite. He did Josef's Legende, the ballet thing. The ballets are, some people like them, some people don't. But he did them. There are suites from the operas. There are the early symphonies. It's phenomenal how much there is. But those are all hanging out there somewhere. What they did box up were 3 volumes of tone poems. And these are wonderful performances with the Scottish National Orchestra in vintage Chandos Scotland sound from Glasgow. Absolutely gorgeous sonics, which is what you need. And some of these performances are stupendous. So we have Disc 1, which has a marvelous Alpine symphony with brass playing that's just to die for. Death and Transfiguration, Ein Heldenleben, and Don Juan. And, these are not lickety-split Strauss. Sometimes, Don Juan's 18 minutes. That's on the slower side, actually. And I'm not saying that to suggest that they're droopy or not held together, but, Järvi is often considered a sort of wham-bam, thank you, ma'am kind of conductor. But he really lets the music, bloom in some of these performances. He does. And others are just as exciting as hell, which is all you really want, right? Like the Alpine Symphony and Death and Transfiguration, which is really exciting. These are terrific. So there's that. Then there's Volume 2. Volume 2, that's Volume 3. Volume 2 is another 2-discer. You've got one of the great Sinfonia Domesticas. Now, I know nobody cares about the Sinfonia Domestica. I get it. I don't really care about it either. But it has fantastic music and one of Strauss's only loud endings. And if you really nail that ending, as they do here, what a final fugue. Holy mackerel. It's amazing and powerful and thrilling in that last chord. Bum, bum, crash. It'll have your speakers ringing for minutes later. And then we have Till Eulenspiegel and Macbeth. I love this Macbeth. It's my reference recording, and not just because it has the best tam-tam part you've ever heard in your life. In the climax, it's harrowing, it's thrilling, it's just incredible. And then Don Quixote with Raphael Wallfisch and Zarathustra with a sunrise that is absolutely coruscatingly brilliant. Yes, how many of those sunrises are coruscating? I ask you. You tell me. Not many. So that's that one. And then Volume 3 is a single disc. It's Alcitalian, a beautiful recording of Al's Italian and Metamorphosen, one that is remarkably not sticky, but really beautifully done and urgent in this case, thank God. 26 minutes, relatively urgent and just marvelous. So there you go. But there could be so many more. There's at least another 5 or 6 discs of this stuff that he did that are not regularly available or easy to come by. And because these were all recoupled, for those that have interesting repertoire that survives, you get some stuff that's already in here. It's just a big, giant, random smattering in the Chandos catalog. And, Järvi's legacy was so splendid with the Scottish National Orchestra. I think they should do a big Järvi box, frankly, of everything he did, except he's still doing things for the label, off and on. And I don't get it. I don't get why this has not been gathered together and reissued as a Strauss festival, because it really deserves to be. And I know that collectors would welcome it, and having it all in one place would give us a chance to really see just how much he did and how splendid it was and how little recognition it gets. I mean, it deserves to be promoted, in other words, to be pushed and caressed and loved and offered to us, the public. We deserve it. Please, Chandos, give us Järvi Strauss, all of it in a box. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.